But what's really important to me are some of the bombshells that are happening away from the convention. How'd you like to see Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on Team Trump? Holy cow, this is a big story. Now, the Democrats, just for the record, I'll use the scientific term, the Democrats have crapped all over RFK Jr. They have treated him horribly. Biden, of course, refusing to give him Secret Service protection. You would think that a presidential candidate named Kennedy would be afforded the benefit of some protection by the U.S. Secret Service. I mean, the ex-Secret Service director, the disgraced former Secret Service director, has Secret Service protection, but not RFK Jr., thanks to Biden and the Democrats. And they don't want RFK Jr. to be around. They don't want a reminder of what he represents. And look, this guy is not a conservative, I get it, but he has captured the imaginations of a lot of people. So yesterday, his vice presidential running mate, Nicole Shanahan, was on a podcast. And I saw this on social media. This comes from X. I don't know which podcast it is. I'll get the name for you so we give proper attribution. Let's make sure we get the name of the podcast team. But here is Nicole Shanahan explaining to the podcaster what they might just do with regards to dropping out of the race and endorsing Donald J. Trump.
You know, there's two options that we're looking at, and one is staying in, forming that new party, but we run the risk of a Kamala Harris and Waltz presidency because we draw votes from Trump, or we draw somehow more votes from Trump, or we walk away right now and join forces with Donald Trump, and you know, we walk away from that and we explain to our base why we're making this decision.
Now, so far, RFK Jr. hasn't refuted or denied this possibility. Alex Jones is reporting that his sources inside the RFK Jr. campaign say that it's going to happen Friday in Los Angeles, that RFK is going to drop out and endorse and support Donald Trump. I just saw something, speaking of social media, that gets my attention. There's a picture, somebody posted a picture of the late John F. Kennedy with his brother, Robert F. Kennedy, RFK Jr.'s father, and of course, RFK Sr. served as JFK's Attorney General. The caption to the picture says, Trump could do something really legendary if he appointed RFK Jr. to be the CIA director. Let that sink in. And then as you're maybe licking your chops over that possibility, check out what President Trump said to CNN about appointing RFK Jr. to a role in the Trump administration.
Can I ask you about RFK? Because just moments ago, his running mate said that they were considering endorsing you. Have you considered him for a role in the administration, and what role would that be?
Well, we haven't, but I would love that endorsement because I've always liked him.
Would you also consider putting him in the administration?
You're asking me a very unusual question. I haven't been asked that question yet. I like him a lot. I respect him a lot. I probably would if something like that would happen.
Wow. Now, believe me, politically speaking, this is a much more impactful issue than the race baiting and the wealth bashing and the riots of Chicago at the DNC. What a huge, huge story this would be. If RFK Jr. dropped out of the race and endorsed Donald Trump, and then Trump turned around and gave RFK Jr. a prominent role in his administration. Now, you look at the polling all across the country, all of these states, RFK Jr. gets 3, 4, 5, 7% of the vote, if a majority of those votes went to Donald Trump, well, the election's over. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to believe the election is over anyway. Already, the polls are shifting pretty dramatically back in the favor of Donald Trump. After, 2 days of the convention, the poly market, the betting pool, now it's back to Trump being the likely winner of the presidential race. After day one of the convention, I mean, it's a disaster. The abortion van parked outside the front. They've reported that 25 women have already gotten abortions at the Democrat National Convention. In, normal logic, that would be a pretty big story. That you went to a political convention and got an abortion in a Planned Parenthood van. And I believe that's pretty reliable, credible reporting. 25 abortions thus far, and they're not done yet. They got a couple more days to go. So people are going to reject, I trust, this brand of insanity and radicalism and elect Donald Trump and Republicans on November the 5th. But what do you make of the RFK story? Let's get your take on all of it. 800-655-MIKE. Imagine RFK Jr. as, I don't know, like his dad was, Attorney General, or RFK Jr. as the CIA director. Now, look, on a personal level, not exactly a fan of that idea. On the other hand, watching the Democrats' heads explode, it might be worth it. I do want to get to the RFK thing too. My text line, the MyPillow text line's blowing up with people saying all kinds of things. Mike, I love the idea of RFK Jr. supporting President Trump. CIA director, a perfect fit for RFK Jr. will finally find the truth and get rid of corruption. Let's get Sam in St. Paul, Minnesota's reaction. How you doing, Sam?
Thanks for taking my call, long-time listener.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us today. What do you make of maybe RFK Jr. endorsing Trump?
Well, heck, man, my brother, I am so glad to hear that the Kennedys, because I loved the Kennedys when they were, just your basic liberals. Now these freaks that are just crazy, outright people lying constantly. I love that if Kennedy, JFK would, because I'm actually the same age as
RFK,
JFK Jr.
RFK Jr. Yep.
But if RFK got in, man, that would be such a game changer. I love that idea.
Well, people are real excited about it, and a whole lot of people are talking about the possibility of maybe Friday being the day. You talk about taking all the steam out of the DNC, an RFK Jr. endorsement of Trump. Oh, boy. David, St. Louis, Missouri. Hey, David.
Hello, Mike. I enjoy the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you joining us.
I do want to know the role of RFK Jr. is he should be U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations because the European news like Deutsche Welle and France and BBC, they all will like him because he'll be and he will do the thing. And with COVID and everything, he'll be tied in with the World Health Organization. So.
Well, the idea, though, of RFK Jr. being the deciding factor in the election, which it very well could be, will make they'll lose their minds. And I know that we got to be careful not to just go for owning the libs, and I appreciate that as well. But this could be a big game changer. Speaking of some game changers, if you follow this poly market, a lot of people say the poly market voting process or the polling there with the poly market, that's the betting, the presidential odds, and a lot of credible people are on board with that, including Nate Silver from 538. The poly market has swung like 9-10 points in a week. Prior to the Democrat National Convention, Harris was up 52 to 48% over Donald Trump. Now, Trump is up 52 to 47%. It's a 9-point swing in the betting markets towards Trump during the DNC. The old adage, the dogs don't like the food. People are not liking what they're seeing coming out of the DNC, apparently.